Good afternoon, everyone. As we stand before you today, we are not just two individuals, but representatives of a diverse tapestry of voices, perspectives, and experiences that make up a vibrant community of Marquette University. We, Amaya Brooks and Ameni Dahlia, united in our vision for a university that cherishes interconnectedness and celebrates the richness of diverse voices. Whether we hail from different backgrounds, cultures, or faiths, we are all interconnected threads in an intricate fabric of each person's humanity. Yet true interconnectedness can only thrive in an environment that embraces and uplifts diverse voices. We refuse to accept a monolithic narrative of what leadership looks like. Instead, we champion inclusivity, active seeking out and amplifying voices that have been marginalized or overlooked. But interconnectedness and diverse voices alone are not enough. We must also strive towards a united vision, a collective aspiration that transcends ambitions. Together, we envision a university where collaboration knows no bounds. In the journey towards this united vision, we recognize that challenges may arise, but it is precisely in these moments that our interconnectedness, our diverse voices, and our shared visions will guide us forward. Together, we can shape a future that reflects the true essence of unity amidst diversity. So let us embark on this journey together as we strive towards a brighter, more inclusive future for our university. Thank you.
Thank you, Will. Good afternoon, everyone. We are deeply humbled and honored to speak before you today. We would first like to thank every student who has supported us. We can feel the love and appreciate you all dearly. Thank you to everyone on our campaign team for all your hard work. And thank you to every student here with us today. Kate and I strive to be two of the greatest student government ambassadors in Marquette history. We serve in student government because we care. We care about the wants and needs of all students here at Marquette. It is our top priority. Kate serves as senator, representing the College of Health Sciences, and is president pro tempore of the Senate. She recently won Senator of the Year. I started my journey in MUSG as senator representing Stratus Tower. Quickly after, I was voted in as legislative vice president. This is now my second term as your legislative vice president. This entails interpreting the Constitution, writing and teaching legislation, and leading our Senate, which is composed of students from every academic and residential constituency. Our pursuit for excellence is unrivaled. We promise to collaborate diligently with the Marquette University administration to help provide transparency for the student body, the student government, and the administration. We believe in creating a more accessible campus that will subsequently provide additional equal opportunities for all students. We aim to create a safer campus that empowers all students, thus making students proud to call Marquette home. Know that your voice will constantly be sought after under our leadership. Thank you.
All right. Hello, everyone. It's so good to be with you here today. Thank you so much for coming out. We really appreciate it. My name is John Flanagan. This is Talini. And Talini and I are very excited to run for MUSG President and Executive Vice President. Our campaign runs on three core tenets: inclusivity, transparency, and sustainability of our community. We are ready to build upon the successes of the prior administration while addressing the major shortcomings that still prevail in our community today. When Talini asked me to run as her EVP, I was truly excited. I was, and very hopeful to start to face down some of the challenges that that are present today, and lead the student body to a brighter tomorrow. Admittedly, I've never held a position in MUSG before, but I have extensive experience elsewhere in the Marquette community that has provided me with unique insights and ideas. As president of the Rowing Club, I creatively manage an organization with many needs and great potential. Moreover, as captain of the novice squad, I know how to set goals and maintain accountability in pursuit of those goals. As charity chair of the Marquette Knights of Columbus, a Catholic fraternal organization, I am actively working to link the passions of our community with the needs of the surrounding area. Finally, as RAs, Talini and I begin interacting with the community as soon as we open our doors in the morning, really. And as such, this gets to my central point. Talini and I's campaign is built upon the hope and opportunity that we see in the student body. For example, from the minute I step on the elevator in the morning, I see sleepy yet determined faces ready to make a difference. In summation, we reject cynicism and apathy as we desire to implement an agenda that capitalizes on the great potential and excellence of this community. Thank you.
Thank you.
So this takes us to our first question, which is, all candidate tickets have extensive backgrounds in extracurriculars and employment on campus. How have these experiences provided you with the skills?
I'm sorry, I can't really hear you.
Sorry.
Sorry.
This one. This one. Testing.
Is it on the side?
This is. This is. Testing. Testing. Oh, there. All candidate tickets have extensive backgrounds in extracurriculars and employment on campus. How have these experiences provided you with the skills necessary to take on the roles of president and executive vice president?
As legislative vice president, I work extensively with the administration and with the entire Senate. I understand all 5 departments of our student government very, very well. Kate and I do our absolute best to interpret the Constitution every single day, and we can comfortably say that we know the Constitution better than any ticket.
For extracurriculars and things outside of MUSG, Lori and I are both RAs. We have worked this past year in our roles working with a lot of students, all of our residents, our entire buildings, trying to build that community up. And we have, over the years, just like been developing these skills of the responsibility being full-time students. I'm a biomedical science student right now, and Lori is in poli-sci, so we manage our full course loads on top of our extracurriculars. And
Yeah, being able to run as president and executive vice president, you must thoroughly understand not only our financial policies in MUSG, but our legislative policies, understanding how to write a bill, how to read the Constitution, how to teach people. We have to understand how the outreach department works, how our programming department works, how our communications team thrives, and ensuring that each and every department is run with complete transparency, but is also managed, all of our time is managed very effectively in each and every way. Being able to bring all students into MUSG is our top priority, because without students understanding how we run, they're not able to join.
And now we'll have Talita Sickett come up. The first question states, all candidate tickets have extensive backgrounds in extracurriculars and employment on campus. How have these experiences provided you the skills necessary to take on the roles of president and executive vice president?
Well, for starters, John and I are both RAs in Mashuda, so we work really closely with a large portion of the student body that are underclassmen, so we get to hear a lot of their needs, their wants, and it helps us to better connect with them. Moreover, I was president of my sorority, so I have a lot of experience with leadership, with working with other girls and other members of the community to know what their needs and wants are for our own organization. John is currently the president of the rowing club, so he has the same experience as well. We also have on-campus jobs. I'm the lead tutor for the psych department, so I get to work with faculty and administration to know what it's like to hear the wants and needs of students that need tutoring, and where they are lacking, where the faculty is lacking in teaching students, and what we can do to further help them and aid them in the classroom.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. See.
So, all candidate tickets have extensive backgrounds in extracurriculars and employment on campus. How have these experiences provided you the necessary skills to take on the roles of president and executive vice president?
I have a lot of background with extracurriculars on campus. I am currently the president of the Students for Justice in Palestine, and I was also vice president last year, and I'm also members of MUSG, and I'm currently also working at the Spirit Shop. I just got off a shift. And these things coming together allowed me to learn about what it is to like to be a student, just like you guys. I'm just like you. You guys know that. And those positions allowed me to know what was needed for me, what I had to fight for. So for me as your EVP, will make your life easier being in the head of that position. So those type of roles allowed me to acknowledge what it means to actually be a leader. I learned how to fund for events. I learned how to speak up for people who needed to be spoken for, or even advocate for events I wanted to hold to educate you guys about what's going on. And that allowed me to become the person I am and the leader I am right now. And that's what I'm so thankful for those type of experiences that I have gone through. And I'm also part of a research lab on campus, which allowed me to work with faculty, that allows me to create my relationship with them a lot better.
And I, within my roles within various clubs on campus, especially the multicultural orgs, I know the importance of showing up. We pride ourselves on inclusivity and diversity, and not just going to events within our own community, but showing up for other orgs, whether that be with LASSO or HPGM. We know the importance of speaking up for the people who feel voiceless, marginalized, and overlooked and underrepresented on campus, especially the commuter students, as Many is a commuter student herself. We will definitely unite our voices on campus and with our united vision. Thank you.
So our second question is, what do you feel is the most significant issue affecting the student body?
I would definitely say a lack of transparency and communication. I think that impacts all sectors of Marquette and its students. Inclusivity is very important, and I think that when there's no transparency or a really a large lack of communication, it's hard for students to feel like they're being properly welcomed to the Marquette community. As a first-gen student, I know that now as a junior in college, I know that there's a lot of opportunities for first-gen students, but as a freshman, I had no idea. And now I'm able to better educate students that are younger than me. But as a freshman, I wish I had that transparency, and I wish when I went to the bursar, they would have conversations with me, letting me know the resources that are available. So I think transparency and communication is super important so that everyone can feel super included and feel that Marquette's community is inclusive.
Yeah, I mean, just to build upon that, people need to know, like, kind of what goes on at this university if they want to feel like they have a place here. So yeah, just being transparent, communicating extremely well, and really being proactive about reaching out and seeing what people, what the needs of people are in their specific situations. Because it matters just having a nice, one-on-one conversation with people, kind of hearing what they have to say, what they believe in, and what they think the needs of this university are. And that's exactly what we plan to do as president and vice president. Thank you.
And now we will have Lori and Caitlin come up. So the second question is, what do you feel is the most significant issue affecting the student body?
The three most significant issues affecting the student body are transparency, accessibility, and safety. Chief among them, transparency. All of your tuitions are used to fund the MUSG budget through our student activity fee. And we can comfortably say that many of you do not know where that is being allocated. As soon as if elected president and executive vice president, our first move in office is to combat that lack of transparency within all 5 branches of MUSG to the student body with the administration. You need to know exactly where your tuition dollars are going. You need to know what bills are being passed, what is being written. You need to understand how you can contact your senators, how you can contact us, what office hours are available, which committees you're allowed to sit on. There are so many resources within MUSG, and they're not being handled. They're not being distributed properly right now. Kate and I have worked tirelessly to ensure that they're going to be well used by the student body. I recently wrote a bill that hired outside contractors to fix the MUSG website that will be up and running this fall, most likely up in fall. So in order to do that, we're writing a bill right now to make sure that all SOF requests, all student organization fundings, are made public information to everyone. So if you're in the rowing club, if you're on the tennis team, if you're in the chess team, anything like that, if you are asking for money from MUSG, that anyone is able to see that.
I think that transparency really is important to me, especially just, it's just very important for all students in general.
So our second question is, what do you feel is the most significant issue affecting the student body?
I would first say that it's communication and diversity between all the students. And I know we keep talking about transparency, but what really is transparency? And for Amaya and I, transparency is you guys knowing the inside and outside of MUSG. It's no longer whether you know if you're on a student organization or not. Every student here at Marquette will know what MUSG is about, and that's our goal with MUSG.
Currently, we are trying to pride ourselves on visibility and being transparent of how our candidates are mentioning of what we have been up to, and by making ourselves more known by showing up to events, because we know the importance of it's a lot to just say of we will tell you, but we want to show that we will be there for you. And that's one of our biggest things, and I'll now have Ameni talk about how we met.
That's actually how we met. She came to an MSA event, which is the Muslim Student Association, and also the Students for Justice in Palestine events. And we met our freshman year, and it really allowed us to learn about more each other. We're both from different faiths, and we're both from different cultures. So we were able to learn about where our values connect on campus and how we can relate to things that we need on campus. And that's kind of what we want to show you guys, and that we come from different backgrounds, but we come from the same values and the same things we want to show, which is having more diversity, allowing each student to be a voice to the campus, not even being a part of minority, no longer being a part of minority. You are a part of a bigger student body, and we want to make that a promise to you guys, make that known for you guys, that your voice matters just as much as everybody else does.
Thank you.
Technical difficulties.
Moving on to our last question. If elected, how will you serve the student body?
If elected, one of our main goals is interconnectedness. We would like to see more changes on campus of bridging the gap between students, student officers, and faculty. We hope to have more collaborations between various student orgs and bridging more people together to have more unity and really uplifting student voices. And by doing this, we hope to hold, within our first month, if elected, we would hope to have town halls and having an open house of meeting us and really getting to know who we are and what we stand for. And I'll have Ameni take it away.
And time to go off of what she said, and allowing us to know what you guys want, because in the end, we are for you guys. We are here to help you guys. So if we don't know what you guys want, how are we supposed to run this successfully? So that's our goal, is to kind of hear from the students and hear from you guys. Being open DMs, open inbox, open house, like kind of, we're gonna be available all the time that we can, to allow you guys to always feel comfortable to just knock on our doors, send us a text. Clearly from our Instagram now, if you guys follow us, we are constantly available, constantly trying to get to know you guys, get to know anything that you guys need to know. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll have Talini now.
Sorry. Can you hear me?
If elected, how will you serve the student body?
If elected, we will do our very best to communicate as much as we can with the student body. We also plan to do town hall meetings and be as connected with clubs and organizations as much as possible. Going around and meeting as many leaders as we can around campus, talking to as much faculty and administration as we can. Getting the input of students is very important. We won't know what they want unless we show up for them and listen to what they want. That way we can advocate for students and advocate for people that can't for themselves.
Yeah. To kind of build off that, I would say, like Talini was saying, kind of getting out there instead of having people come to us, I think is important in terms of showing that, it's not they're, coming to us to plead their case or tell us what they're about, but it's rather us inserting ourselves into that discourse that they wish to talk about, from their perspective. I think just overall in terms of inclusivity and getting a broader range of voices, heard from, I think that's essential to, put yourself in that position where you're vulnerable, where you're the one, kind of humble yourself, say, I'm really interested in learning about what you have to say, because there's a lot of great voices here, and there's so many great things to learn about from the student body, and I think that's the way to go forward.
Restoring the community is really important to us, so doing this will really help us. Thank you.
So the third and final question is, if elected, how will you serve the student body?
So first off, starting with our transparency and accessibility kind of pairing together, We want to focus on the communications department in MESG. We want to build that up because if we don't have a strong organization behind us, we can't really reach everybody that we want to. We already have senators for almost every constituency right now, but who knows their office hours? Who knows the e-board's office hours? Who knows when you can come to meetings and speak in open forum? That's like the whole point of MESG, to get you guys engaged. And so that'll be our first step, kind of like buffing up the communications department and kind of getting that going. We are only 2 people, and so we're going to depend on that strengthening of the MESG department, because we can go to all of these events and everything, but how will we, if we're too spread out, when we have all these people to help us and who are willing to be your representatives, how will we do that all if we're only ourselves? You know, like, we are very, very eager to get out to the events that we can, but as full-time students and very conscious of our other commitments, like, we have a whole organization behind us that will support us as well.
Yeah, piggybacking off of Kate, we already have regular town hall meetings on Monday nights. They're called Senate, also known as MUSG Town Hall as well. So it is open to all students. It is very poorly attended right now because we are not using our MSG communications department in that way to grab students to come speak at Senate, to come tell us what they want changed. And we are going to make it so easy for everyone to utilize MUSG if elected president and executive vice president.
Thank you, candidates. And now I will use this time to open up for 3 questions from the audience.
So what do you all plan to do to foster diversity and inclusivity in your role? Like, for example, you mentioned that you are RAs, and specifically I lived in Estogada, and it's a very important LLC, and I know one of the floors got taken down last year. So what do you do to, what will you do to foster this diversity and inclusivity?
Let's have Mike.
To answer.
Yes, please.
One way that we foster diversity and inclusivity is just by recognizing our own backgrounds, and us as a whole, as a ticket, we are diverse. We come from different backgrounds, we come from different faiths, and we know the importance of diversity and inclusivity, as we are both come from minority backgrounds. And I myself know the importance of seeing multiple perspectives, as I am biracial, and I have seen in myself of like the importance of inclusion. I know what it's like to feel excluded within community, even my own communities. So I feel like it's very important, and then I'll let Ameni take it away.
As someone who constantly fights for her own voice and for her culture's voice, Palestinian voice, to be known, I know what it feels like to feel left out, feeling that I feel defeated. But that's with what Amaya and I will be doing, is that we will constantly not let you guys feel that way. We will allow you guys to feel like you are known, as you are one of us, that you are just like us, and we don't want you guys to ever feel the way we felt, because we don't want to put you guys in our own shoes. So that's like our main goal.
And we hope to foster this by having really open dialogue and having events and making it more known and having more open and honest communication. And like other candidates have mentioned, building up the communications department and having more visibility of what we are actually doing on campus, and not having MUSG be an entity that's very hidden. Thank you.
Now we'll have Timothy and John go.
John and I have served as leaders in our respective roles, also on campus in our other organizations, and I think bringing those skills, bringing those leadership skills to MUSG is going to be really beneficial for not only the students, but for
I have had a very, very narrow, limited, trajectory in life, and that's really what our campaign is about. I would say is kind of getting out there and hearing that diverse group of voices, working for them. As Talini said, as RAs, every day we work to hear people from all different types of backgrounds and try to do what's best for them. And we would do the same in this role as well.
Well, thank you for that question. And I'm happy to hear that you were in Nuestro Hogar. For those of you who don't know, Nuestro Hogar is a living, learning community focused on embracing many different Latin cultures. I currently serve as RA for Nuestro Hogar in Strauss Tower on floor 17. I am a proud Mexican American, and as RAs, we both love to learn about diverse cultures, different traditions, different people. And in MUSG, we have our Senate. Our Senate is composed of students from every single academic and residential constituency. So that's 30 students from every single different type of major you can think of. And this is one of many places in MUSG where diversity needs to be there. And when we make MUSG more accessible in this way, when we get as many different students to get senators, whether we're targeting all the LLCs, when we're sending representatives to every single student organization, every club sport, when we're making sure that the website's up and running and everything is well known, we will bring in so many different people from all walks of life, and that is exactly what MUSG needs. We need students from every single background, in every major, every ethnicity, race, gender, sexual orientation. We need students from every walk of life. Okay.
And diversity and inclusion, I believe, should be expected of us. It shouldn't be a question anymore. It's just something that we have to be working towards this, and we want to be working towards this. This is, it's a continual process, we all know. But the accessibility of MUSG will definitely take it to the next level. If it's not accessible, then we won't get as many students from the different walks of life and different cultures as we could.
Sorry.
Do we have any more questions from the audience?
What will you be able to do for commuter students who are unable to always be on campus and are unable to join organizations because they are maybe limited in terms of what times they can be here because of transportation or just not having enough hours in the day?
Thank you. So I've actually had the pleasure of working with the commuter senator that represented you last year. I believe his name was Julian Rojas, and he had such great visions for the commuter student organization. Working with Adil Raza, your current senator for the commuter students, our first priority is ensuring that not only are all events accessible through, whether that's through panels, through flyers, through our MUSG website, through walking into the MUSG office, but we want to fix the commuters lounge. This needs to be a place for students to feel at home. It's such a small section of the AMU on the first floor, and we have it within our budget to fix it. And we are working closely with a few commuter students right now, especially Adil Raza, to ensure that the commuter students get the space they deserve. And we are constantly open to all new ideas. Any way that we can improve the commuter student experience, we will do. It's up to to each of us to work together to find solutions to the much needed addressing of commuter student struggles right now.
Yeah, we have to make sure that the commuter students, like, you are a part of the Marquette community. And even though you might not be able to be here late at night, maybe we should be working on the daytime activities. What happens between classes? How can you guys get involved there? How can the current on-campus community reach out to you guys? Because we're all part of the one community, and we want you to be with us. So, thank you.
Sorry.
I actually have the pleasure to be a commuter student, so I know exactly how it feels to not be able to be here for the late night events or not be here on campus when I need to be or when I want to be. And so Amaya is actually the reason why I started to know a lot about more events, because she kind of spreads the word about what's happening. So through MUSG, that's what we want to do, to make sure everybody knows. The commuter students, we're going to do daytime events, which Amaya will get into, and we want to make sure you guys feel as important as the dormers do on campus, and Amaya will take it from there.
Yes, so one of our initiatives that we would hope to instill, if elected, is commuter coffee hour. We all know how much college students love coffee, and we would like to have a commuter coffee hour similar to the Friday lunches that they're having, but this time like having coffee and bakery items, just a time to create community and be in community with other commuter students and other students in general who love coffee. And one of our ways to also spread communication about events, and that I have personally done as being an executive intern for Campus Activities Board, we rebranded to be more inclusive rather than having it be Late Night Marquette, and have more events during the day so commuter students can take part in them, and also spreading more information of this is happening, and not just having messages and group me sent out, but we want to have more visibility, and we're trying to promote more visibility on our Instagram. And another way that I have stuck up for commuter students has been through, I was asked the question through New Student Family Programs of what changes I would like to see, and I said hire commuter students. We need commuter students as student leaders and as Spark leaders to really share, and also share more about the Milwaukee community and get more integrated within the Milwaukee community. And with that, I'd like to say thank you.
We have time for one. Oh, sorry. You go. Oh, sorry. You go, Celine.
First off, I want to say I really feel for you as Mashuda residents. We're like commuter students now because we live so far. Honestly, I don't know what it's like to be a commuter student, so I would love to work with commuter students, with the senator for the commuting committee, I think that's the word, to know what the struggles are like. If we could maybe fund meal swipes for commuter students, I think that would be really beneficial. Just doing things where commuter students can get involved. Going off of Amaya's idea, I think that's wonderful, to be able to give commuter students opportunities to be leaders on campus. When we were freshmen going through Spark and going through orientation, we really hear what the college experience is like for the typical college student who dorms for 2 years, has their own apartment, but we never really hear about the experience for commuter students, what it's like to travel to school, to be in a city school as well and have to travel. So opening the doors up and the conversations up to hear what your experience is like and how we can make it better, because John and I frankly don't know what it's like, so we're willing and open to have conversations that will hopefully make your experience a lot better.
I believe we have time for one more question. Yeah.
Hi guys. So after COVID, I think student mental health was at an all-time low. Can you talk about what you guys will do to help combat the mental health crisis on campus?
I think we started with the first question.
Oh, so is
Yeah, you would go first.
Mental health is super important, and it's something that John and I have talked a lot about for running our campaign. I was the secretary for Active Minds here on Marquette, which is a mental health organization. We work super close with the counseling center, and we just want to make it more accessible to students. Like I said previously, it's wonderful to have an ample amount of resources, but it's really detrimental to students when they don't know that it's available to them. We have a lot of things for students to get help and to gain support, but they don't know that it's always available. So working with them, working with the counseling center, and just promoting, and quite frankly, just shoving it down your throats that it's available to you, so you know that it's there, and you know how to get it, you know how to receive the help that you need.
Yeah, well, I suppose building off that, you know, as RAs, we both went through, you know, extensive, you know, mental health training, how to handle crises of that nature, and also just more the day-to-day sort of stuff, like, you know, it's going to be a really tough week, how can we help you? And that kind of goes hand in hand with a more broader, comprehensive sense of the word mental health, you know, making sure people feel safe and, you know, that they belong on campus pretty much. And that includes, you know, kind of rethinking, you know, interactions with MUPD, getting MUPD more involved, and just like, you know, the more casual, like get to know ya, like just make them a friendly face. And I know they have their own initiatives, which we love to, which we will build off that with them. But yeah.
And I know we used to do mental health days before, John and I are juniors, so before we got here, those were a thing, so we would love to bring those back too, where you guys just get days off a couple times this semester to really take a break and alleviate any stress you get from classes.
Thank you. Now we will have Lori and Kate.
The first step towards combating mental health is fighting the stigma surrounding it. As RAs, we work closely with the counseling center and all of the resources here on campus that help combat mental health. And through MUSG, we have several subcommittees, whether that's Senate standing committees or external committees such as diversity, equity, and inclusion and social justice, committee for the CEC committee for engagement. And all of these committees are ways in which we will utilize them to allow students to come to MUSG and tell us what they want changed, what resources they want here on campus.
I will say, when I started my training to be an RA, I didn't know half of the resources that we have on campus. From my first year alone, I just had never heard of the hotline to call the counseling center to get help in the middle of the night, you know, and they just turned that into a 24/7 process, so like something new that I didn't hear about originally. But as MUSG, like, it is our responsibility to put those resources out to the whole student body in like such a more profound way. It's being told by RAs are getting training, but how many other students are in need of like knowing those resources? We can post it. That's a big thing, like MUSG communications can work on, just working on putting it out there, because it is a community event. We should be working with each other on supporting each other, getting everyone in that community space.
Yeah. And we have office hours as vice presidents, as senators, as president and executive vice president, and we will ensure that students utilize those.
Thank you. Now we will have Maya and Amani.
So college is definitely a time of transition and changes, and it's easy to feel alone and isolated, and we will amplify our voices to have a more united vision to foster hope and to build a more interconnected community. And one way to build community is by collaboration, creating collaborations out of our community and creating spaces that are not our given spaces. We have several spaces already to build community, like the Center for Engagement and Inclusion, like the LGBTQ+ Resource Center, like different faith spaces here on the second floor. But now we want to create more community and foster more collaborations, and creating spaces to see each other's faces and to build relatability and know that you aren't alone in this. You are not alone, and that we can do this together, and it's an act of courage to share our experiences and know that as college students it's easy to get wrapped up in just the everyday school life, but I feel like genuinely one way to do this is by creating community, and I'll let Amani talk more about it.
Kind of go off to what Amaya said about bringing communities together, communities that probably don't think they have any similarities together, like having more interfaith dialogue, talking more together, being more different. That's how, again, how me and Amaya met. We're two different cultures, but we met. That's how we met, and we want to create better and more spaces for that reason, because if the ones that we have now were available to all of us, we would have been using them, but unfortunately we need to kind of step it up a bit.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, candidates. This concludes the end of our debate. So sorry. Now we will have Lori and Caitlin give their closing statements.
So we'd like to thank you all for being here with us today. Lori and I are so grateful for you guys listening and hearing our vision for Marquette, and just for all of you who have supported us throughout this journey so far. So our platform is based on the 3 main points of accessibility, safety, and transparency, and all of these are so incredibly important to us on a personal level, based on our lived experiences and the stories that we've heard from other students. We hope that after the discussion today, these 3 points kind of resonate with you a little bit more as well. Entering office, first and foremost, Lori and I plan on beginning implementing our ideas for transparency in MESG. The concept of reinvigorating our communications department is one that has been on our minds for quite some time now, and we believe that this is the first step towards a lot of our goals and making and strengthening our Marquette community. This is how we get the word out first. We would really love to invite you all to share your vision for Marquette with us. We want to hear your stories and be able to join you in the highs, the lows, and everything in between here at Marquette. So feel free to chat with us after the debate. We would love to meet all of you and get to know you better as constituents. And then, in the spirit of Margaret Thatcher, don't just hope for a better Marquette, go vote for one. Thank you.
Now we will have Amaya and Amani.
First, I want to thank you all for being here, taking the time out in the little snow blizzard that we had for 5 minutes. I urge each and every one of you to reflect on the power of diverse voices and undeniable interconnectedness of our community. Our campus is made up of unique perspectives, experiences, and backgrounds that bring us each to the table. It is within this amazing diversity that we find our greatest strength and potential of growth. Imagine a world where every voice is heard, valued, and respected. A world where differences are not only accepted, but listened to. This is the world we strive to create within MUSG, where inclusivity is not just a buzzword, but a guiding principle that drives our decisions and actions. We must recognize that our fates are intertwined and the issues facing one of us inevitably impact us all. Whether it's advocating for better mental health resources, promoting sustainability initiatives, or advocating for the voiceless, we must stand united and are committed to effect positive change. Together, we can build a stronger, more resilient community where every student feels empowered to contribute their unique gifts and talents towards a common purpose. In closing, I implore you to cast your vote not just for a candidate, but for a vision, one that celebrates our diversity, embraces our interconnectedness, and embodies the collective spirit of our shared aspirations. Thank you.
Now we will have Tony and John.
Thank you everyone for being here today, and thank you very, very deeply to everyone that has supported John and I's campaign. We really appreciate it. John and I are very excited to have the opportunity to run, and we pride ourselves on wanting better for Marquette's campus, Marquette students, and the greater Marquette and Milwaukee community. Throughout my time in MUSG as Chief of Staff, my eyes have opened to the hard work it takes to make progress towards equitable change, and I truly believe John and I have the aptitude to expand on the greatness within Marquette. As we propel students to be the difference, to be the difference. As President and EVP, we are ready to spark innovation, elevate all voices, and unify brilliance. We aim to build a future where diversity fuels excellence and greatness knows no bounds. With your vote, we can make real change happen, and we eagerly look forward to serving you and give back to the community that has given so much to us. Thank you.